Hello and good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of Tube. Hope all today, hope you're feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there everybody. Bonus vid this week, people of the Tube. Today is, a year today, is the 1 year anniversary of releasing Dave Simpson Trio debut album, Free. That literally came out a year ago today, that's mental.
That doesn't feel like a year.
No, it does not feel like a year at all. Anyway, before we get started, we are working on physical copies. We've had some technical issues, as you could say. Otherwise, we'd have physical copies to you right now. But unfortunately, we don't just yet. But hopefully, very soon, we will have physical copies of the album. And they're very, very special. And we're going to start with, well, I'm not going to say too much. You'll
You could definitely call them special.
Extraordinarily. They're wicked. I love them. Okay, so anyway. But yeah, hopefully that'll be a thing soon, but not quite yet. But we're getting there. Technical issues, computers, aren't they brilliant? Anyway, I thought as it's a year anniversary, I thought what I would do is we're going to go through every single song on the album, the 12 songs on the album, and I'm going to tell you about kind of like basically what they're written about, and Queenie's going to add some of her slants on it as well. I wish John Joe was here to add some of his slants on it as well. But hopefully we'll do, when we do another trio talks, we'll get John Joe to natter about some of the things we want him to talk about.
You will talk about
them,
John
Joe. You will talk. Anyway, but yeah, so we're going to go through all 12 songs, and what we're going to do as well is we're going to play you the first minute of every song. So we're going to natter about it, first minute of that song, natter about it, first minute of song 2, not Blur. None of that. I was an Oasis fan. Blur, get out. Anyway,
I liked them both.
Yeah, but you didn't grow up in the 90s, what do you know?
I was born.
She wasn't there, man. She wasn't there, she doesn't know. She didn't know how important it was. Anyway, it really wasn't, was it? But it was brilliant. Nonetheless, it was brilliant. When would you get that anymore? You wouldn't. You wouldn't get that anymore. And that's what's sad. Anyway, enough on that, trying to right the wrongs of the music industry, because that's just not possible anymore. So, anyway, let's get to song 1 of the album of the day. Stupid
Song 1
boy.
of the day.
Song 1 of the album. Song 1 is called The Pheasant. So, this is an instrumental song that I wrote this song in 2016. And it was, funny enough, I wrote it on my Squire Jag. And it was only maybe the second day after I got that guitar, I wrote this song. I was sat on my bed. Funny enough, I did have a video of it somewhere. I don't know where it is. And I came up with this run. You'll hear it in a sec. And it was originally in the key of A minor. And it stayed there. And literally, from 2016 to last year, it was nothing. It was just this idea I had. And maybe I thought, maybe one day I could do that as an instrumental in the trio. Maybe, I don't know. But then, things were going wrong and, whatever. Anyway, and then we found we weren't doing originals in the trio, from 2016, 17, 18, 19, and then 20 never happened. And then 21, obviously, we got the album done, and I was able to bring it forward, and yeah, it was mental. And I just thought, I remember in a rehearsal or something, and I said, what do you reckon to this? And I played it to Queenie and John Joe, and they're like, yeah, we've got to do that, that's well cool. And so, never to be satisfied with what I did, it was in the key of A minor, and I thought, that's a bit too easy to play. So I moved it to G minor, which is a lot harder to play. I did actually think of putting it in F at one point, but then I realised that you can't bend that string, Dave. So, no, there's no way of doing that. But it's in G minor. Originally in A, but I found that too easy. So I put it into G minor as a challenge. And again, that's the song we start our set with. So, but yeah.
It's not an easy song to start with.
No. But again, that's the thing is, I don't like the idea of just kind of when the trio starts a set, I don't want to ease people in. I want to throw them in the deep end with us. You know what I mean? They're in as much of the deep end as we are when we start playing. Because sometimes, starting with the Pheasant is difficult. And I say, you won't hear the full version of it. You'll hear the first minute of this song. But if you go to the link below, the album is below, and if you do like what you hear today, please consider going to the Bandcamp and downloading and buying the album. It really helps us out. It gives us the ability to actually... we'll be able to do CDs and more merch stuff if we can. So if you don't already have it, because I know quite a lot of people do have it, if you don't already have it, please go to the link below and you like what you hear, please go and consider downloading it. It really helps us out. So so what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it is. I just wanted to throw people in the deep end, so they feel like we do. We're literally flying by the seat of our pants with this one. And it's great. So yeah, Queenie, anything to add to the pheasant?
Yeah, well, my interpretation of it, I think it was me that said, it sounds like a pheasant running, and then that's kind of what gave birth to the name. So whenever I hear that song, all I can see is a little pheasant going...
Yeah, that is it, because I didn't know what to call it.
Yeah.
And Queenie goes, it sounds like a pheasant. So every time we play that now, it's like it's just like the madcap pheasants just running around the field. Or when they're on the side of the road going like this. And you're driving up to them and just like that. And then they decide to just like kamikaze into the road and then back out. So they got a death wish. Anyway, see how close I was to that, Frank? It nearly got me. It got me wings. It got me tail feathers, but it didn't get me. Oh, I lost a wing. Anyway, here is the first minute of the song aptly named The Pheasant. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. That was song 1 off the trio's debut album, The Pheasant. That was the first minute of it. So moving on to song 2 now. Not Blur. Damn you, Damon! Damn you all. Anyway, not that one. We're going on to song 2, which is called The Stealer. Now, The Stealer, like a lot of these songs, was written about a real person and is a true story. And I'm sure we've met somebody like this along in our lives. Somebody who will basically take everything from you just because they want it. It's like, I like your circle of friends. Now they're mine. I like that computer game. Now it's mine. I like your... In the film, I like your girlfriend. She's mine now. And it is literally like they will just like worm their way in to every aspect of your life and then just start taking whatever they want, and they don't give it back, and they just leave you with nothing. And again, this is something that it didn't happen to me, but it's something I experienced. This didn't happen to me, but I experienced it constantly. The person this is written about would just take, and just not stop. And there was never any limits to this person's greed of taking. And it was just like, my God. And this would have been when I was about 15, 16, so I just started playing guitar, and it's made that much of an impression on me. It's become a song.
Yeah.
And I just wrote a song about it. And funny enough, The Stealer actually came out of the EP that me and John Joe did back in, I think it was like 2016 or 2017. Me and John Joe did like a Dave Simpson Trio EP. And we went in to record 3 songs, and then randomly we recorded a 4th, and it was just a jam. And I just started playing this guitar riff, and John Joe just joined in on the drums. And if you go onto the Bandcamp, there's the Dave Simpson Trio EP on that, and there's The Stealer on there, and there's the demo version, the EP version, and that is basically just a jam that I then put vocals to. And literally the vocals just like, the lyrics, just came out like that. So that's what The Stealer is all about. And this is I think this is one of my favourite songs on the album. I love The Stealer. I love the fact it really meanders, but it's really kind of it just punches, mainly because of somebody's fingers on their instrument. Because if you listen to it really closely, there's a wham, 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 absolutely wrenching the strings.
Have to listen really closely for that.
Yeah, I can't hear the bass, mate.
No.
Yeah, that is the thing. This is the song, I think, isn't it? When we recorded the album, Ian Stewart, the guy who recorded our album, mixed it and produced it for us, and basically was just like, overall genius. He was literally the fourth member of a trio in that thing. It literally was like, if we'd gone to anybody else, the album wouldn't be what it is. I'm positive of that. It's all, thanks to Ian. He caught it. He literally, we threw a ball and he caught it, and he didn't even have to try. He went, yep, I've got you. He literally was just like nailed it. But yeah, so it just came from a jam. It's all about that. And again, I think this is the song where Ian was. We finished recording it, and Ian was sat, and he turned around to Queenie and he goes, "How do you play like that with your fingers?"
Yeah, well, he thought I was doing it with a pick. He didn't realise I was doing it with my fingers, and then he obviously clocked me. I was like, "How are you doing that with your fingers?"
Yeah, he was just like. I remember my dad. We showed my dad the album, and Dad goes, "People don't play bass like that anymore." And I agree, they don't. It's like it's like that Geezer Butler, Lemmy, old style way of playing the bass, where you just like basically digging in. And again, I think that's something we all do as well. It's like none of us.
Yeah, it's quite an aggressive sound from all of us, but it works. It
does. And I don't think any of us play with any kind of hesitance. Yeah. If that makes any sense. It's all meant, and it's all very in your face. But yeah, and have you got anything to add about the Steeler, Malia?
Well, I definitely have known people like that, and it also reminds me of a lot of people who not only take physical possessions, but will also take bits of you and add them to their personality, and then they're so outspoken that they'll somehow tout themselves as the person who invented whatever they've taken, and it really aggravates me. So that's kind of what the song makes me think about, because I've had that on many occasions, physically and personality-wise. So, yeah, that's basically what it's about to me, because I didn't obviously know the person that Dave has, so I've put my own people onto that.
Yeah. Which is exactly what you should be doing, because, again, this is the awesome, gorgeous thing about music, is what the songs mean to me don't mean that to Queenie, and they don't mean that to you. They mean it to your personal life, or they mean whatever they are to you. If you listen to a song, it means something totally different to you than it does anybody else, and they all have their own places, and I think that's awesome. I was going to say, I think that's partly why for a lot of people music resonates with them, is not because you that resonates with me because of that person It's more like, that resonates with me because that person reminds me of this person I know. So yeah, I think it's all down to interpretation. Yeah, exactly. And everyone's is different, and everyone can find comfort and solace in a song in a different way to somebody else, which I think is awesome. Anyway, here comes the first minute of the song known as The Stealer. Enjoy. So, moving on to song 3 of the Dave Simpson Trio debut album, 3. We will be doing a music video for this song very, very soon as well. We want to release this as a single. We've got a couple of videos we want to do. And again, it's just having the time to do it and the ability to do it.
It's just finding a pheasant on the road in the wild, really.
Exactly.
It's a problem sometimes. Yeah.
We did have an idea actually for the pheasant music video. It's like, you just get me running after a pheasant in a field and film it. That's the idea. But we do have another. We're actually going to do a music video for the pheasant. So we got and Are You Alright and a couple of other songs. We'll talk about them when we get there. But anyway, song 3 is called Are You Alright? ? Now this song I actually originally wrote as just a solo song that I wrote. I actually released like a mini EP thing. Well, it wasn't an EP, it was an mini album called 5. And this came out in lockdown. I released it in lockdown. I was playing around with my old Audition guitar amp and a fuzz pedal that a fan of YouTube made me called the Good Gravy Fuzz, and my Zenta Strat thing, and this riff came out of me messing around with that, and you can hear the evolution of that in the Zenta video I did on the channel, because I started kind of playing that riff. Anyway, I did 5 songs on that little mini album, and then I released them, and then this was almost like an afterthought, really, wasn't it? Because we had 10 songs for the album, and then I was like, the music kept telling me that the album needed 12 songs, not 10. It didn't want 10, it wanted 12. So I went back to you and John Joe, didn't I? And I said, we need 2 more songs. And I sent out a couple of songs, and one that resonated with everyone was Are You Alright?
Yeah.
So, made it on the album. And I remember the first time we played it in rehearsal, I got that excited, we played it again. Because I was like, that's literally the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I loved it to bits, and this is one of my favourite songs as well.
Yeah, it is for me as well. It was one of those songs that was literally meant to be in that moment. Yeah,
and it didn't take any rehearsal. It didn't seem to take any rehearsal. We'd all kind of like, we all went away and learned the bits, and we just started playing it, and it was like, whoa. John Joe said he wanted to really be like a drum machine in that song, and you can hear how he plays. Like, he really plays really metronomic, but it suits the song really well. And I say, there's Queenie with a massive distorted bass tone, just like thundering away, and the really cool backing vocals that just made the chorus for me. But what Are You Alright is about is basically mental health issues, and it's again, this song is written from obviously my perspective, but it could be anybody going through the horrible rigmarole of mental health. There's all sorts going on in this song lyric wise, and it's like feeling like you're going crazy, feel like you're going insane. What's wrong with me? And the actual title, Are You Alright, is not somebody. Like it's not like if like I was feeling dodgy and Queenie goes, Are you alright? It's actually you asking yourself, Are you alright? And you're like, I don't know. You're asking yourself that question. It's an internal monologue. This song is an internal monologue of somebody suffering with mental health issues. And there's a lot of songs on this album that follow that narrative. And this one is literally like, I don't know what's going on. And there's a line in it which is, leave me alone but save me please, which I think is kind of like, probably one of the biggest things in with people with mental health issues is they tend to kind of shove people out the way, but really what they're doing is like, help me, but they actually just kind of go, no, I'm fine, and they because it's such a taboo thing to have mental health. And it shouldn't be, and it's not so much anymore, but it was, and especially when I was growing up, it was not the thing. You didn't have mental health problems.
Even
you just got on with it.
In my generation, that it's only in the past sort of like 10 years or so that I would say
less than that.
Yeah, that it's really become a thing that people talk about.
But yeah, so that's what this song's about. It's very, very deep and dark, and it means a lot to me because it pinpoints a point in time. And funny enough, the lyrics to this song as well, I wrote them all out and there was no mistakes. I just wrote them and they just flew out. There was I've still got the original piece of paper and there was no mistakes. There was no kind of like crossed out words. I literally just wrote it front to back and it is what it is. And again, it's a song that means a lot to me because again, it is anybody who's been in that mental health issues will have asked themselves, "Are you all right?" And you're just like, I don't know if I'm going insane. I don't know if I'm dying. I don't know if I don't know what's going on. You know, it's that's what this is about. So, anything to add, Queens?
Yeah, well, that's one of the ones that means the most to me on the album because obviously me and Dave are really similar, and I think John Joe is as well. I've always struggled with anxiety, like even from being extremely young. I just seem to be that way inclined for some reason. So that song to me describes it perfectly, and I've always had this thing of like, it's like health anxiety and just anxiety in general about literally everything. But at the Flying Circus gig we did, which I gig vlogged, I ended up having a massive panic attack during that whole set for no apparent reason. And in the break, because we'd split the set into half, Are You Alright is the first one we were starting with. So I'd come off after the first set and I was still trying to calm down and I was really apprehensive to go back on. And in the second set, I remember trying to calm down right before we started, and it dawned on me, we're playing Are You Alright? And that's exactly what's going on in my head at the moment. But after that song, weirdly, it just totally calmed down and subsided. Again, for no apparent reason, but I think partly that song was like a reminder of like going, yeah, it's not just you, this is normal, this is a thing that people get and you're not alone in it. And for some reason there's comfort in knowing other people are suffering.
No, there is. I mean, I don't think it's I don't think it's a case of kind of like I don't think there's anything bad in that.
No, definitely not.
Because it does make for the longest time I felt like I was going insane and I thought I was on my own and I thought I was dying most of the time and I did want to die. Simple as that. You know, I tried to stop myself living plenty of times. And when you find out that other people go through this stuff, it does make you feel less alone.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. You're not wallowing. You're not kind of like going. You're not reveling in somebody else's suffering. You are literally kind of like, you suffer as much as I suffer, and in so doing, you're like, you know, you can create like a bond and a comfort. But knowing that you are not alone, you're not going crazy. There's lots of other people out there who feel exactly the same as you, which is awesome.
It kind of stops perpetuating it as well.
Exactly. Okay, so. First minute of Are You Alright, people of the tube. Here you go. Okay. So moving on to song 4 now of the trio album. The song is called Will We Still Be the Same? And this song I wrote during lockdown. So I bet you can guess what that song's about. I wrote a lot of songs in lockdown. I wrote about 90. Was it about 98? I think it was. Something like that. Most of them are out and about somewhere. I did something like, I think, 5 or 6 albums worth on YouTube of songs, and I think one album has 22 songs on it. But this song, Will We Still Be the Same, was kind of like a Peter Greeny kind of blues kind of thing I wanted to do, and it just fit the narrative. So the narrative, Will We Still Be the Same, is basically like, you know, I was sat in my room in lockdown with my guitar, and I just wrote these lyrics and of basically like, when this is over, is everyone going to be the same? And obviously the answer is no, of course we're not. You know, we're never going to be the same after that. You know, too much has gone on. It's not one of those things you can just kind of turn off and get over. And so that's what this song's about. And funny enough, I just remembered something, like, you know, when we were just, before we pressed record on the camera again, was I was saying, when I first sang this song, I was trying to sing it like Rory Gallagher. I was trying to be a bit more aggressive and thingy with the vocal style.
Yeah, you were singing it in a higher octave as well.
Yeah, and we were at rehearsal, weren't we? And I was like, I can't find a way to sing it. It doesn't feel right. Then I sang it in the way it is on the album, like this really low, almost spoken word kind of way, really low voice. And all of a sudden, Queenie and John just said, "Do it like that. That sounds well good." And Ian was like, "Yeah, do it like that." When we went to record the album, because I was like, I wasn't sure still. And he was like, "No, do it like that." But again, that's what this song's about. It's a lockdown song. It's will we still be the same, you know? And again, it's the blues. This song as well. This song I record when we recorded the album. The guitar tone on this song is just my Fender Deluxe Tone Master. What I did is I went straight into it with my Revelation RTL 59 Les Paul, no pedals, straight into the amp. Dimed the amp to 10 and turned the attenuator down to the 0.5 watt mode, and 0.5 watt mode, and that was it. No pedals. I didn't want pedals. Everything was just from the guitar. I wanted it to be really authentic to kind of like Peter Green thing. I didn't want all my effects pedals. I didn't want anything in line. Just me, a Les Paul, and an amp wound to the teeth with reverb. That was it. And the guitar tone I got was exactly what I had in my head. It was just perfect. So yeah, I'm very, very proud of this song. Very, very proud of it indeed. And I really like the subject matter and I like the lyrics. And I like there's only one verse. Oh, that was another thing as well. When I wrote this song, it was a challenge to myself to get everything I wanted to say in one verse. It was a challenge because I'd been writing so many songs. I was like, you know, they had verses and choruses and all sorts. And I was like, this song has to have one verse and you've got to get it all in that one verse of what you want to say. And I somehow did that. I don't know how I did that. But yeah, anyway, Queens, what do you want to say about this one?
Well, it's pretty much self-explanatory song. I've got pretty much the same feelings on it as Dave, and I think it's a kind of song that everyone was there, or more or less everyone was there, so I think everyone...
Unless you're a Tory.
Yeah. I think more or less everyone's going to have the same kind of feeling about the song. I know there'll be some exceptions, but it seems to be like a pretty shared experience between everyone, so yeah, the song is what it is.
It's a point in time.
Yeah.
It really is. And everyone, everyone, again, apart from certain rich people, went through it. We have this, actually, funny enough, if me and Queens are out, sometimes we'll look around at everyone and just go, not a single person we're seeing didn't go through that. It's not like it was like localised to one area. Everyone went through that. It's insane.
Yeah.
And so that's what this song, Will We Still Be the Same, is about. And again, very long song title. I did try and call it something else, but Will We Still Be the Same was, it just kept coming, it's a lyric in the song, it just kept popping back out at me when I was writing the lyrics and trying to figure out a name for the song. I was like, what do you want to be? And it was like this. And I was like, no, I might call it something like, 2020 or something like that. Like, no.
No, it's a way better.
No, so yeah, Will We Still Be the Same? So, here you go. This is like a homage to Peter Green as well, so, and there's two of them on this album. So, we'll get to the other one in a bit. But Will We Still Be the Same? Let's blues it up, man. Okay, so moving on to the next song. A song called Me and I. Now, do you want to say the first line, Queens, or do you want me to say the first line?
Go on, you say it.
So, the first lines of Me and I are, well, I was walking, and I heard myself say, go into the road and die. Now, that sounds dark, because it was. So, Me and I is a song that's it's about something that happened to me, again, in mental health struggles. And funny enough, this happened just before I had a breakdown. I was in the house and I had to go and get something from my van, which was just down the road. And as I was walking down the road, my amazing brain decided to tell me, go into the road and die. Just jump in front of that car. Just go on. No one's going to miss you. No one cares. No one's even going to know you're even gone. Go on. Go on. And I was just like walking down the road, and I was just like, you know when you start to kind of like feel that lump in your throat of kind of like you want to cry, but you're trying to like be strong and like, no, I can hold that together. And I was just like, I can't cope with this voice. It was so strong, and there was just these cars driving past, and I was like almost like edging myself towards the edge of the road. And I was just like, I can't do this. And I don't remember what I went to the van for. I didn't get it. I didn't make it to the van. I walked back. Because I was like, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. But my voice was like, you're a coward. You're a coward because you didn't do it. And all I remember is coming back into the house and my sister and my mum said, like, are you alright? And I just remember starting crying, and that was it. And I just couldn't stop. And I think I must have cried for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. And the entire time I was crying, I had my white strap with me, and I held on to my white strap like it was like a life jacket. I just had it, and I was sat actually in my mum and dad's old bedroom that's back there in the front of the house, and I was just sat in the window on this ottoman thing, just rocking backwards and forwards, just absolutely destroyed. And I just said my white strap, it just gave me comfort, and my sister was there, my mum was there, and they just kind of gave me as much comfort as they could, but I just couldn't cope. And this is what this song's about. It's about the horrific nature of mental health issues. You know, the horrific nature of, like, you know, you feel so alone, you feel like you can't ask for help, and you're just lost in this horrible place. And this voice just tells you constantly all the bad things that you are and what you should be doing and how no one cares about you. When you're dead, there's no one going to be at your funeral because they'll all be partying and really happy that you're gone. That was my narrative for years. No one cares. No one cares. You know, and it's just not nice. And again, the song's dark. The song is dark. Of course, it's dark. It wants to be. It draws light on that subject. It's supposed to be. I've had a lot of people tell me, lyrics are a bit dark to that song. I don't know about that. It's like, I do, because I was there, and that's exactly how I felt. And that riff, that really heavy riff, I mean, that's it. That's how it feels. It's aggressive and it wants to get you. And, you know, it just, and again, and this is another thing people choose, but a lot of people say, like, you know, oh, you need to get a singer in because your voice isn't very good. Believe me, no one hates my voice more than me. You can't hate my voice more than me. Queen's can attest to that, believe me. I don't have anything good to say about my own voice, but the fact of the matter is, no one else was there. That was me. That was my experience, and these songs are from certain things that I've experienced. And when I sing them, I may not have a voice like Mariah Carey or Miles Kennedy or whoever you're comparing me to.
Can you imagine Mariah Carey singing that?
I would love to see Mariah Carey singing that song. I don't have a voice like them. I've got my voice, and my voice means it because I was there. And no one else can sing these songs properly but me. It's like Bob Dylan songs. You can't imagine anybody else singing Bob Dylan songs in the intensity he did other than Bob Dylan. You know, other people have tried and they fail. You know, it's like Johnny Cash. You can't have anybody else singing Johnny Cash songs. You know, Jimi Hendrix. You can't have anybody else singing Jimi Hendrix songs and it sounds right. You know, it's all about personality of voice. And this is the thing, is like, you know, in another world, maybe you know, maybe so, but not in this one. And this is the one that, like, you know, and I'm very protective over how these songs are, because again, especially the lyrics and how they're sung, because they mean everything to me. They're my experiences, you know, and they're not, you know, and once they're out there in the world, they're your experiences as well. But I sing it because I mean it. If I got somebody in who's never been through that, they can't sing Me and I. They don't know how to sing Me and I. They haven't got the intensity. They don't know what they're singing because they've never been there. And even if they have been there, they'll sing it in a different way to the way it felt. And it won't match the music, which I wrote specifically for those lyrics. So that's what Me and I is one of those songs to me. Is like when I get comments which beat me down mercilessly about, oh, you're a rubbish singer. It hurts, to be honest with you. That really hurts, and it upsets me, something rotten. But again, no one's going to hate my voice more than me. No one's going to hate me more than me, believe me. Trust me, no one can. It just upsets me, and I'm just like thinking, no. But it spurs me on to go, no, this is my voice. This is my vent. This is how I get it out. Anyway, enough on that. We spoke about that more at length in the trio talks a while back. But yeah, Me and I, dark song. Queen's got anything to add to this one?
Well, obviously I'm not you and I didn't have that exact experience, but I can understand it from my own experience, which is not too dissimilar again to Dave. And I have had the same kind of thoughts and still do, and it's naff.
Yeah.
To just kind of be walking around and then your brain goes, you should do that. You should impale yourself on the knife or something.
Yeah.
It's just stupid stuff like that. It's like, but I don't really want to. Yeah, but you should.
Yeah,
it's
get on with it.
Yeah. But yeah, I know basically exactly what Dave said. Same thing for me, but in different ways, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But that's exactly it, though. It's like I say, like, you know, when I wrote these lyrics, I wrote them about me. But as soon as they go out to you, and like Queenie, it means something for them. You know, it's no longer my song; it's our song. You know, and that's the beautiful thing about that. But again, only I can sing it because again, it's written about me. It's like Noel Gallagher singing "Don't Look Back in Anger." Only Noel could have sung that song. You know, it sounds weird and it's really hard to explain, but hopefully it makes some kind of sense. Anyway, here's Me and I. Very, very dark. The lyrics are dark, and again, they're meant to be, and the song's dark, and this is the only song, actually, we have in an entire album that has a shuffle in it, and it's only got a shuffle at the end. Anyway, enough talking, Me and I. I heard myself say, going to a road and die. You know, I heard myself say, going to a road and die. Okay, so song number 6 is called It Was You. Now, this song, after a late night trawling around YouTube watching the Sensational Alex Harvey band, I got stuck in a Sensational Alex Harvey band, like, you know, black hole, if you will. I just went mental. I was just like watching tons of their stuff, and I watched their version of Delilah, Old Grey Whistle Test in the 70s, and that's always been my favourite version of that song. Nothing against Tom Julian's version, but I just love their version. It's just really cool. And I think he captures the darkness of that. Alex Harvey, he captures the darkness of that song better than Tom. Because when Tom sings it, it is a bit kind of like hearted in a way. But I mean, the subject out of Delilah was dark beyond. But Alex Harvey, he captures it. And the way he looks in that Old Grey Whistle Test, he's just got that look. You know, you feel like it's happened to him. Not murdered somebody, but, you know, Who knows? He was apparently not a particularly nice fellow, but who knows? I don't think so. But he's got the again. He's just got that attitude, the right attitude to sing that song. When I hear anybody else sing Delilah, I'm like, nah, but you're not Alex Harvey. He meant it. You could feel he meant it. Even Tom Jones, I don't think, meant it as much as he did. And I was like, I was just sat watching that going, I really want to write a song about that subject matter. Because Delilah's about killing your cheating partner. You find them cheating and you basically lose your mind to the point you go and you kill them. There's that incredible line, I felt the knife in my hand and she laughed no more. And I was like, that gives me chills. That is such a great line. Not for what it means, but my God, I mean, the visual of that is insane. And I wanted to write my own version of Delilah.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, yeah, what is it? Oh, yeah, well, if something like that happens, it's them. So if it's from your perspective, it was you. It was you that made me do this. That whole, well, it wasn't me. I was driven to it. Some people actually are driven to it. But so I sat down and I wrote this song about that subject matter, and it's really dark and it's got a grungy bit, and it's just like really heavy but not. And then, like I say, it just kind of was what it was for quite a while. And then I bought it to rehearsal to Queenie and John Joe, and it took on a whole new life. So yeah, that's what this song's about.
Yeah, I remember the structure wise. Dave sent me a demo of it, and obviously the song has quiet sections, then it goes into this really heavy, almost Black Sabbath-y kind of section. Or at least that's what I heard. But it had the song, and then it had the heavy section at the end, and it just kind of felt like it was over a bit too quickly. Like, I felt like the heavy section could have had more of a place in the song, considering what it's about as well, and it was just a great section. So I suggested either extending the end section or doing it twice, but in the right way, so that it's not like overused. And so that's how the structure kind of became what it is, because I knew that you could make a feature out of that, and I think it really brought that last section to life. To me, that's the murder section. Yeah.
To me, it's the middle section. The end section is kind of like the protagonist in this story. Yeah, it's the protagonist, and it's not the antagonist. The protagonist in the story is losing his mind over what he's done.
Really?
Of like, how can I? Because one of the last line is like, how can I make them believe it was you? And it's like, in that last kind of, there's a quiet guitar solo and then this big heavy bit at the end. It's basically this guy's plummet into madness because he can't make anybody believe that he was driven to that such a level of barbaric nature. But yeah. So that's what it was you, and Queenie's got amazing effects on it, and it's very bass and drums led. This one is like the guitar doesn't really do anything, and it shouldn't do anything apart from the heavy sections and the little quiet solo. The guitar, I mean, when we play it live, I don't play anymore because I feel it's more atmospheric if I don't play anything. Occasionally, I might make noises, but I don't actually technically play the guitar, and it just works so well with Queenie's bass and John Joe's drums, and it's so good, and it's got this kind of weird swing to it that sounds like, again, it's just mental. It's just like, it's kind of like crazy, kind of like rocking nature. It's like, it's literally somebody losing their mind because of what they've been driven to do, or what they've done, so to say. So, anything else to say?
No, that's it.
It's called It Was You.
Now where have you been? Where you been spending all your nights? if I were you, I would come clean.
Okay, moving on to next song. The next song is called The Green Blues. This is, well, both of these songs are a tribute to basically Peter Green, but Mr. Paul Kossoff wound his way into this one. I just had to listen to it, and I don't really listen to it a lot because I can't hear songs I play on because I think I'm terrible. So, but I had to listen to it, and there are quite a few little Paul Kossoff licks in there as well, which is really cool. And by jingo, is it hot today in this room?
It is.
Whoa.
We're both losing our voices as well. It's like a rainforest.
It is. It's really stuffy. Anyway, we're going to crack on because we love you. Okay, so not in some kind of weird, violent way. In a lovely kind of like, come and embrace me. Anyway, moving along. That's weird.
Come and embrace Dave.
You know you want to. Weird. Moving along, The Green Blues. Let's get to that. So The Green Blues was basically, I wanted a song on there that was just kind of like a really oldie, worldy, schooly blues, which is what this is. There's not much to this. I recorded this again the same way I recorded Will We Still Be the Same. It was just into my Fender Deluxe Tone Master, but the Les Paul, I used my my Lemon Drop Les Paul for this one with the out of phase mode, and you can hear that right at the beginning. And it was just one of those songs. Again, it's all about, again, this is a protagonist song. This isn't, but I have been there, and quite a few of us have. It's basically all about somebody's, their partner's left them, and if they don't come back, then they'll do something silly to themselves because they can't live without this person. But that person is done with them for whatever reason. And it's basically just, it's like the blues, heartbreak. And that's what this song's about. And again, I just love the way it feels and the way it sounds and the way John Joe plays it and the way Queenie plays it on bass. It's so sparse and again, it's that Rory Gallagher-esque kind of delivery on the vocal that I love so much to do. Because I think Rory's got massive influence on the way I sing more than I play. I always love the way Rory sang, so I think he's got more influence on me in the way I sing when I do play. But yeah, love the song. Green, and I like the title Green Blues. Really, cool way.
It was fun to play on a song as well that like Dave said, it's really sparse, and I didn't want to just fill every gap. So it's kind of a fun thing to play and just listen for where the notes should be and where they shouldn't be, because I think that's really important in this song in particular. But
yeah, definitely. Yeah, not much to say. It is what it is.
We're nothing alike.
No. Let's say the song title in 3, 2, 1. The Green Blues. That was terrible. Okay, so song number 8 on the trio's debut album 3 is called Talk to Me. Now this is my favourite song on the album. Funnily enough, this is the only song too where I double track guitars. The rest of the songs don't have a double track guitar, and again, all these songs were done live. There was all the vocals are live, apart from Queenie's vocals, which we did on the 3rd day, but all my vocals are done on the thing. They're not layered later. They are. I'm singing as I'm playing. And it's all done in 1 or 2 takes, mostly 1 take. And funnily enough, "Talk to Me" was one of those songs where I was like, it just isn't sounding quite right on the guitar or something.
Was it in the studio like, was it when we recorded it that we decided on the harmony? Because I can't remember.
No, we decided that in rehearsal.
Right.
Because basically Queen sings that song with me. I'm not singing it on my own. Queen sings it apart from the end of the second verse. Yeah, "Please talk to me, don't ignore me, let me in." Queen's doesn't sing that line because it didn't work, did it?
Yeah.
That was something... Because when we were rehearsing it, Queen sang the entire thing with me. When we recorded it, and Queen was doing her backing vocals, it's dawned on us that doesn't work, and that should just be me.
Yeah, and it works because of the lyrics as well. It's
Yeah.
like it becomes stark how lonely it sounds, and I think it fits what he's actually saying. So it just worked a bit better.
Exactly, because what the song's about, "Talk to Me," it's about... This isn't necessarily kind of like relationship partners. This is like friendship and stuff like that. This is about people who come into your life and they make you feel something for them. You feel really connected to this person. You really like them being in your life. And then one day they just disappear and they don't talk to you anymore. And you're just like, "Please talk to me again. I really liked what we had. Like, why won't you talk to me?" It's all about that. And again, I was going through this at this point in time. I had a few people I was talking to who were just slowly disappearing out of my life, and I didn't like it. And so I sat down and I wrote the lyrics and the song "Talk to Me," and that's what this is. And I couldn't... It's certain people in your life, you can't bear the thought of them going away. And it's really sad when they do anyway, and you try and fight to keep them in your life, and then they go anyway, and it is sad. Again, none of my songs are happy, but that is what it is. But that's what this song's about. It is really about that kind of that sadness you feel of losing people, not to dying or anything like that. It's just literally to basically people grow apart. And that's sad. It's really heartbreaking, and people go move on to other things, and it is a very sad thing, I think, and especially when these people come along and they mean something to you, and you're supposed to mean something to them, and so hence "Talk to Me," and again that line that Queen doesn't sing, "Please talk to me, don't ignore me, let me in." It's that thing because people will put up barriers to block you, and they're like, "No, I'm not interested anymore," and it's a plea. Basically, it's just a plea. And again, this is the only track I can think of where I double track guitars, because there's little bits of harmony and...
There's one towards the end where you did one little overlay on the bass 6, but it wasn't...
Oh yeah, that's overcome it. Well, it wasn't all the way through. There was kind of some double tracking on guitars, but it's not constant. There's just bits and pieces of it. But yeah, this is the main song where I really, really double track guitars. And there's little bits of guitar harmony in there, again, Thin Lizzy inspired, that kind of thing. And the solo section is John Frusciante inspired. And the riff is kind of like just this big... I don't even know where this riff came from. I was playing through my Vox Escort Lead 50 one day with my Revelation Les Paul, and this riff came out of that. I cranked to the teeth and this riff came out. And it was "Talk to Me." So, yeah, anything to add, Queens, to "Talk to Me"?
No, I agree, though. That's one of my favourite songs on the album as well. But yeah, again, the song is what it is. Yeah,
it always seems to go down really well live as well. It's really short. It's not even 3 minutes long. A lot of these songs are really short.
Yeah, like whenever we finish that one and "Are You Alright?", people don't seem to know that we've actually finished live, because everyone's just kind of a bit like, "Oh!"
Yeah, indeed. And hopefully they clap. But it is, because they're so quick. A lot of our songs aren't. We didn't do long songs. It's quick punching to the point. That's the point of these songs. A lot of them anyway. Some of them are long because they need to be to get the point across. But yeah, this one in particular is just kind of like, it's a plea to please don't leave. It's sad. It's very, very sad. And again, I was going through that at the time, and it is what it is. Yeah, so I wrote a song about it. And so anyway, song number something. Talk to Me.
8?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 3. Okay, next song on the album is a song. This is the first song I ever wrote. This is 2004. I wrote this song, and it's called "Overcome." And
I
it's
was 4.
Queenie was
5.
4. Shame you weren't 3. But it's an ironic title, "Overcome." And again, I think a lot of people do perceive the last lines of the song, the last lyrics I sing, as being kind of like, yay! Because it's, I'll beat you down, I'll overcome and you'll lose. But it's from a perspective of somebody going, yeah, I'll beat you, I'll overcome. They don't believe it. I didn't when I wrote the song. That's where I was at the time. And this is the first song I ever wrote. And it's funny, it's really, this has been played in so many incantations. Like, you know, I did it in a different band to start with, and then it got dropped from that band. And then I did it in the trio at the beginning, and then it got dropped from a trio. And it's kind of, in fact, it's still alive. And it's I think it's John Joe's favourite song that I've written. And it's funny, really, how it kind of lives. Like, it kept living, but it was never ready until now. And I do totally believe it was waiting for Queenie and John Joe to play on it, because Queenie's bass line is absolutely perfect, and what John Joe plays is absolutely perfect. They nailed it. You know, basically these songs are only good because of Queenie and John Joe. They just make the songs. They really do. They just came in, like, you know, and just literally, it was the icing on the cake. It's just incredible how good the songs became once these two started playing on it. And it was like the songs were waiting for these two to turn up, for them to actually evolve and be what they are now. And
I think because me and John Joe want to give the songs what they need and, like, respect them, and we wanted you to be happy with what we'd done as well. So
yeah, and which, yeah, is beyond happy.
Yeah, good.
Beyond happy. Like, you know, if I never made another album again in my life, if that was the only one I ever made, I'd be very happy. You know, but that's not going to be the case, because I have a lot more songs, and we have a lot more songs, and I can't wait for the second album.
4.
Yes. Or we could go backwards and have 2. And once we get past 0, it's -1.
Yeah.
Anyway, but Overcome is probably the most overdubs. There's like Queenie said, there is a bass 6 on this for a brief period. There's an acoustic guitar on this as well for a brief period. There's a couple of overdubs here and there, but it's not like Talk to Me where it's kind of constant. Like from beginning to end, there's 2 guitars. It's kind of like things come in and then drop out. Queenie's bass line is like stunning. There's like these bits where she follows like the guitar harmony line, and it's just like it moves it. And John Joe's drumming is just so on the nose, like, you know, it's so perfect. And the way he calms it down and brings it up, it's just like, oh my god. And again, so this is the first song I ever wrote, and this is all about my time at school, and it's about being bullied. It's as simple as that. It's about being bullied and how you feel alone, and you don't really know what to do. And again, at that point in time, like, you know, I was punished for being the bullied. I was being mercilessly bullied by people at my school, and I was the one who was in the wrong. Doesn't make sense, does it, people with a tube? And as a result of that, I became manically depressed and suicidal and tried to kill myself many times. From basically, I was told I was a troublemaker and I was pathetic and weak and I need to grow up. Grow up, David. A lot of that. To a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid. Worked. It really worked. It didn't screw me up at all. And so I wrote this song about it in 2004 because it's something that I was just... I don't think I ever and will ever come to terms with what happened to me, because it still feels unjust, and it was unjust, and it wasn't fair. Simple as that. But it happened nonetheless, and you can't ignore these things. So the only way you can come to terms with them is by embracing them and just kind of like trying to find something good out of it. And for me, it was this song. And again, I do love this song. I've just put my foot in a spider web. I do love this song, but it's kind of like it's hard. It's a very hard song to play and sing because it just takes me back to being however old I was, 12, 11, 13 years old, sat on my own on a bench when I should be at school, not knowing what to do with myself other than just not wanting to be breathing anymore. It takes me back to that mindset, and it also puts me in like a third person perspective of seeing myself, and not only seeing me but seeing other people who have been bullied as well, and it's very, very hard to deal with that, and it's really upsetting. So it's a very, very hard song to sing, not because it's difficult vocally, it's difficult because of the subject matter, and it's a hard song to play because it means a lot to me. And I love the guitar harmony part. I do love this song a lot. And it's probably the song that means probably the most to me, which is one of the reasons why I don't like it a great deal, because it's so...
exposed?
Yeah, it's very open and it hits very close. But yeah, Queens, have you got anything to say about this one?
Not really. I didn't have, obviously, the exact same experience as you at school, but I did have terrible experiences at school, which made me come out of school when I was about 8, because I was basically from about age 4 progressively getting depressed, which is not actually, shouldn't be a thing at that age whatsoever, and that was due to school, and not only the kids but the teachers as well, and just basically the whole kind of ordeal. And my sister, obviously, I know, went through a similar thing, and she's a bit 7 years older than me, so she was in school quite a bit longer than I was, and actually has chronic fatigue now from about age 13, which they think was caused by the stress at school, which she was kind of bullied and teachers were horrible and all sorts. So yeah, it's all obviously not the same experience as you, and I was very lucky to have been able to come out of school, but it's still a meaningful song to me, and it makes me think of my sister as well, and obviously of you, because I feel for anyone who has been through anything like that, because it's naff.
And it still goes on, and it shouldn't go on. And again, it goes on in comment sections in videos as well. And I put a comment up the other day with somebody. It's actually it's on an Anderton's video. Actually, it's not on my channel. Of somebody saying I look like a ghoul. Maybe I should go and haunt him. The ghoul's torment. Either way, I'll do one of them. But people, that's bullying. And from somebody saying that to somebody who's been bullied mercilessly, gets me angry very, very fast. And I did block his name out, but and somebody said, "Oh, don't give them the time of day. Don't give them the time of day." If you don't give these people time of day and name and shame them for what they are, they keep doing it because they're getting away with it. And if they are brave enough to put it out there, they should be brave enough to take the consequences of their actions. And if somebody puts a nasty comment on my channel or anywhere towards me or Queenie or John Joe or anybody I care about that I think is just downright, I will be posting about it again, because these people need to be shown for what they are, bullies. And bullies, the only way it's going to stop is by basically, not to be horrible, but by humiliating them. If you think you're tough enough to put it out there, you should be tough enough to take what comes back at you. And if you can't take what comes back at you, then why do it in the first place? I have got zero tolerance for bullying. If you're going to bully me, I'm going to get you for it, because that's what happened to me, and it nearly killed me. I'm going to put your name out there, and it's not fair. And the only way it stops is by naming and shaming, I think. And it's just not fair. And I've got a very strong opinion on that one. And some people might say, it's a bit harsh. No, it's not. No, it's not harsh. If these people think that they can treat people the way they do and get away with it, they have another thing coming. It's so faceless in this day and age as well. I was bullied face to face by not just the boys of the school, the girls of the school as well. I was bullied by both sides, and I was humiliated constantly in many, many different ways. And a lot of them I will never get over, and a lot of them I still can't even talk about. I'm 36 years old. This happened when I was about 12 and 13. I still can't talk about some of the things that happened to me because I find it too embarrassing and upsetting, and it hurts, but I carry it. And now, if these people had been named for what they were and they'd been brought up for what they did, maybe they would have stopped, but they didn't. I was the one who was punished for it. And this is no, and that's what this song's about. So again, don't give them time of the day. I don't give them time of day. I want them to reap what they sow, basically. You know, if they're tough enough, if they think they're tough enough to put out nasty comments to people facelessly, then they should be able to accept the consequences of their actions. Just like any human being in the world, you do something bad, you have to accept the consequences. You can't just go around being a horrible F word to people and expect to get away with it. Eventually it'll come and get you, because it came and got quite a few of the people who did stuff to me. It really did. Not because I'm Liam Neeson. I didn't go after them, but there have been sometimes, people too, where I have seen these people, and there is something that nearly did happen, but we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, it was a little spider.
I was just sorry.
But yeah, so anyway, that's what this song's about. Bullies. If you're a bully, I don't like you, because it's just not the thing. You know, life's hard enough. Did you just spaz out?
Yeah, just went.
Life's hard enough without people like that, ego tripping and power tripping. So, song 9, I think.
Yes.
Overcome. First song I wrote, means a lot to me. Very, very hard song to get to grips with. So the next song on the album is a song called Keychain. So this song is a relationship going wrong song. This is basically where you feel just trapped. Like, it's like you're somebody's keychain. You're attached to them, but you really don't want to be. It's like, please break and let me go. Like, and that's basically what this song's about, Keychain. And this song is just brutal. It's in drop D flat. And it's just heavy, obnoxious, and we got a really cool trade-off solo section at the end of it. And I love this song.
I do as well. It's one of the most fun to play as well, because I can imagine it feels the same on guitar, but it's really relentless. Like when I play, it's like it doesn't stop, but in a really satisfying way. So I really like playing this one. Yeah,
it is. It's just constantly like. Yeah, and again, this is one of those songs, like most of our songs actually, it's like if your guard is slightly down, you're gonna fall off the train. Basically, you can't let your guard down with any of these songs, because the moment you do, you'll fall off.
There was a couple of like funny moments in the solo trade-off section that happened live. Yeah,
the solo section that happens at the end of Keychain live changes every time we do it, and sometimes it's like really like intense. Sometimes it's really funny. It's really you never know what's coming next, and I love that. It's like I don't know where it's going to go, but it's so much fun.
I just love the one solo that was just silence.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I also like the one where I totally messed it up on camera. If you've seen the gig footage of us playing at the station last year, we did Keychain, and I totally screwed it up. And then I was like, oh no, it must have been somebody else. And I was like, oh no, it's me.
Like me and John John were playing, and then like I was like, oh yeah, that's my turn over, and then I stopped, and it was just
nothing. But somehow we all came back in. It was okay.
I think it's really funny. I think it becomes part of the song.
Yeah, and again, moment in time. I love my moments in time. But yeah, so this is Keychain, absolutely heavy, relentless song about kind of wanting to break out and break away from a failing relationship.
This was the song that made me realise I didn't mention this in the Trio Talk thing because I forgot. This was the song at which point I noticed my bass had got some kind of noise gate on it, and I was like, no, I'm not missing these notes, it's actually not playing them. And Ian was like, oh, I don't know why, there shouldn't be anything on it, and no one could figure out what the problem was. I was like, no, I'm definitely not doing this. And it turned out, there was the noise gate on. So in the solo section, it was like every time I tried to do it, I was like, it's not picking up what I'm doing, it's not me. And then it turned out that for this entire album, there's a noise gate on my bass, but somehow it works.
Yeah, and it still sounds amazing. The bass solos are still stunning. And Queenie's bass tone on this album is just absolutely like fury. It's just fury. You just like the big distorted bass, like so good. Okay, so yeah. Keychain. Why won't you let me go?
Keychain, won't you let me go? Hanging from your keychain, baby, won't you let me go? I'm tied to your ways, and you won't let me.
Okay, so moving on to song 10 of the Trio album, with two more to go after this. This is called Know My Name. Oh no, this is song 11, sorry.
Yeah, song 11, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the other two songs? Because I can only think of one more.
I'm such an idiot. I'm dyslexic, I can't count. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it, damn it. Okay, so song 11. This song is called Know My Name. And this song is all about the devil and how he tries to get to you. You can't be a blues rock band and not have a song about the devil. It's in the Constitution. So this is my song about the devil. And I'm really proud of the lyrics in this song. And again, a lot of these songs have distorted vocal, which I really like. I really love distorted vocal. I'd love to be able to do it live, but I can't do that yet. We don't have the ability. I need to get like an effects processor to do it. And it's just too much right now. I can't. Yeah, the level we're at, it'd be a nightmare to try and work out the logistics of that because it would just feed back all the time. But I'm pretty sure Know My Name's got a distorted vocal.
It does.
And what was it called on the vocal thing? Ian had a compressor on my vocal, and it was called something like distress.
Yeah, I think it was.
Or like something like torture or something like that. It was a really, really like punish. I think it was called it was called the punish button. And when you put it on, it distorted the vocals. And like basically, we let's add a bit of punish to that vocal. Let's punish that vocal. So I'm pretty sure Know My Name's got a distorted vocal because it's from the perspective of the devil, and I really love the lyrics of this. I really love the way this song sounds. It's got a really weird count in that foxes me quite a lot of the time. Never foxes Queenie and John Joe. They get it right. I don't.
John Joe's like the number one person that rests on.
Yes,
but he never messes it up.
No, he doesn't. I do. I do all the time. But I like it. I like the fact it's kind of, again, it's a really strange intro on that song, but I like the way it is. And I love the riff, and I love the way the vocals sit. And again, I don't really play a great deal of guitar in it. It's more vocal. And it's call and response, so I sing a line and then play guitar. So I'm playing on his guitar. Again, blues, the heart of all music, and I just remember it's got this kind of Dave Gilmour, Pink Floyd-esque guitar solo at the end. That's got overdubs on it as well, but again, there's nothing in there.
That bit, when you sent me the demos, this was the main one that stuck out to me, and I was like, I really like that one. And the end bit reminded me of Echoes,
yes,
by Pink Floyd, and then I mentioned it, so I didn't realise that that was where it came from.
Because I didn't, when I wrote the bluesy songs, I didn't want the solo section to just be 12-bar blues and me just soloing over a 12-bar blues because it's been done. I wanted the song to change to something totally different, but still maintaining the atmosphere of the song. So songs like this, for instance, Know My Name, it's a 12-bar blues, kind of. It sticks in the key. It's basically E. It doesn't really change. It doesn't go. It doesn't go like 1 to the 4, back to the 1, then to the 5. It does all sorts of weird stuff. Again, it's not obvious. I want it to be a bit different with it, and I wanted the end section to be like a Dave Gilmour inspired guitar solo, which, funny enough, is the only guitar solo I play note for note every time we play it. I never change this guitar solo.
Isn't Keychain the slide one? Did you change that?
I changed that. That's all different. The intro's the same. I start the solo the same, but once I've started the solo to Keychain, it changes.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get the woo at the end of Keychain, but that's really hard sometimes. But no, this is the solo I play note for note every time. There are certain licks in certain songs where I will put them in occasionally, but invariably, Know My Name is the note for note one. And again, I love this song. It's really, really cool. Queen's got anything to say about Know My Name?
No, apart from this is one of the most fun songs to play. Not just of a trio, but in general, I really like playing this song. And you can really dig in.
Yeah.
Obviously on all of the songs you can dig in, but this one in particular is really aggressive.
Yeah.
It properly is. And that riff, I really like this one.
Yeah.
But I always have. I think it was the first one that I heard that was like that, and It Was You. I was like, oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You get your teeth into
it. Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly. No, you didn't.
But yeah, it is. It's a great song. I really love the lyrics of this one. It sounds evil, absolutely evil, and it's all about basically how the devil will come to you and tempt you with your wildest dreams. It can make them come true, but one day he'll want paying and he'll come and find you, and then you'll hear a at the door, and he's come.
Ironically, this is the one that I always forget the name of.
Yes.
And it's called Know My Name.
Yeah.
I think that would make it stick, but for some reason my brain just goes, oh no, what's it called?
Yeah. But yeah, so Know My Name, song about the devil. Love it. And again, you're a blues band, you have a song about the devil. Move it.
Possibly you've heard of me. Every now and again I make poor men rich, and I make rich men poor. Now I ain't no God, and I sure ain't your friend, and I ain't here to help you, and I won't lend you my hand.
Okay, so final song of the trio album, People Who Tube. This is called Who the Hell? And again, this is true story as well. This song's I was going through a problem at the time with somebody, and it was basically a concept like, who the hell are you to tell me what I am, or who the hell are you to tell me what you want of me, or whatever. It's basically like, how dare you? How very dare you? It's that kind of thing. It is, but it's a true story. It's basically like, it's like, there's a line that's like, do you want me to beg for you? Do you want me down on my knees? It's like, what do you want from me? What do you, how, who the hell are you to do this, to punish me the way you do? And this song is just merciless.
Yeah, it is.
The riff is merciless. The verses are merciless. There's this bit at the end where it does this crazy run, and it's just like it's just, and it's a cool way to end the album. I think.
It is.
But I love this song. It's
Again,
a cool riff.
Really fun to play. Gets kind of tiring if it's cold.
Yeah.
But I really like this one.
Yeah. It is a brutal riff play. It's in A minor. Well, technically A flat minor because it's down tuned. Oh no, this isn't, is it? This is in standard tuning.
This one is, yeah.
Yeah. The tunings on this album kind of stretch from E flat to standard tuning, depending on it's song specific.
Did we do it in standard on the album, or was it later on we tuned it up?
I don't remember. I really don't remember. It could be in flat on the album, but I don't remember. When we do it live, we do it in standard tuning, but I don't actually remember if we did it
I can't
anymore.
remember.
But either way, it's just a mercilessly. And again, it's supposed to be. It's what the song title's about. Like, who the hell you're? It's an angry song because that's where I was when I wrote it, and that's what you would be in that situation of somebody basically taking the mick with you. You know, it's basically just like taking liberties with you and forcing you into places you don't want to be. So that's what this is about. And again, that riff is just merciless, and I like this song because I get to run the Governor and the DS2 together. So it's just like overgain. This isn't even overdrive. This is overgain. I've coined a new term for guitarists. Overgain. Pronoun. Tons of gain. That is the explanation in the Oxford English Dictionary. Believe me. Yes. Anyway, but no, I do love this song, and again, this is the last one, People Tube. So basically, I hope you enjoy this. I love this riff. It just starts relentlessly. Oh, and also, another thing as well that you can hear throughout the album is certain bits of noise. Because we did it live, at the beginning of the Pheasant, you can hear Ian say, "Split second, go." And then you hear me talk, and I forgot I didn't turn on a pedal, and then you hear me turn it on. Because I was like, oh, great. But like, there's bits of talking after songs and before songs, and I really love that. And it was really important we keep that in, I think.
Well, yeah, I love the fact that Ian's on this album as well. Like his voice. Because he was such an important part of this. It definitely wouldn't be what it is without Ian.
No.
But I swear there's one song, I don't remember what it is, but you can hear one of John Joe's sticks caught the other one, and it wasn't intentional, but you can hear it click, and it actually accentuates it in a really nice way. Yeah. I just don't remember at what point that happens.
No. It's like, there's quite a lot of those moments, like where you can hear things, like say you hit your bass.
Yeah, because I where I was stood, because it was such a small room, it was literally tiny, and I had enough room to stand, and there was like a spinny chair here and a sofa behind me which you couldn't sit on because there was stuff on it. Pedalboard directly in front of me and Dave here. So I was playing most of the album like this. And at one point on one of the songs, I don't remember again which one it was, but you can hear my bass kind of go dum, and it's because I moved slightly too much and it hit the arm of the chair that was right next to me. So that chair is also on the album. Yeah!
I love it, because it was literally, I was there, Queenie was here, I'm a spinny chair right now, and John Joe's here. That was, and it's probably literally this space.
Yeah.
If we had set this camera up, you would have been able to see us all. Simply, and Ian as well. Actually, Ian was literally only there. Yeah, it was a tiny thing, but like that was the point. It was intimate, and it was close, and it was just awesome. And again, coming back to Ian, we could not have done this album. Would have been nothing without Ian. Ian was like, we could play the songs, we knew what we needed to do, but Ian caught it. And I don't think anybody else could have. Yeah. Like, he just... We owe him so much for this one. We really do. It's just so... It's good because he knows what he's doing. Yeah. And he was just constantly lightening the mood, and it was so fun. I've never had that much fun recording an album with anybody. Yeah. Or an EP or music in general. It was so much fun. It was. And it was just effortless. That's another thing. It's like, we were able to do these songs in one take. Or two takes sometimes, because there was no pressure. It was weird, because normally when you press record on the camera, your ability to play guitar or bass or drums goes bleh, and you can't do it. And you have to kind of like dig deep to try and find that. As soon as Ian pressed record, we felt so at ease that it was just like, no, we've got this. We've got this. We've easily got this. We can do this, and we did, and it was ace, and I love it, and it just perfect. So yeah, last song, Who the Hell. Okay, so there you go. That's all 12 songs off the trio's debut album. Like I say, if you like what you heard, please consider going to the Bandcamp link below and downloading it. Like I say, it really helps us out if you do. Gives us the ability to do things. Like I say, physical copies are coming. They are really close. They are really, really close. But you know, technical issues because computers are annoying. I spare, you know, they put me self-aware. Skynet, Terminator. Terminator was a documentary. It was. They're becoming self-aware. Skynet. Wait for it. There's actually a Skynet now, isn't there?
There isn't,
See?
I think.
See?
Yeah.
You see? It's coming. Arnie is technically not actually what he is. He is actually a Terminator. Rumour has it. Anyway. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this vid. I hope it's been somewhat informative.
There's one thing that's been bugging me, and it's
Yes.
not really important, but
It
do
is.
you do 3 like this, or like this?
Ah!
Because
Yes.
that is really difficult for me to do. That comes way easier.
Yeah.
But I've seen you do that a load of times. So I'm like, is it just me that does
Yeah.
this?
So, people with tube, question for you. Do you do, when you want to say number 3 with your fingers, do you use your ring finger, middle finger, first finger, or do you use your middle finger, first finger, and thumb? Which I can't say properly. Thumb. Thumb. You're just spitting everywhere now, though. But yeah, let us know. Comment section below. That's the most important part of this video.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to go and lay in an ice bath.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very hot. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed this vid. Like I say, links in the description box below, and I'll see you again for another video. Thank you, Queenie, for being here.
It's okay. Thank you for having me.
Like I say, we'll do another trio talk soon with John Joe, where we'll just natter away. And until then, goodbye now. See you Monday.